Hey folks, I'm your host, BKP. It is Friday morning and we're at Circuit World in Blue Ridge. Beautiful morning. A little cold, right, Amanda? Are you okay over there? Why you got like that look, you got an attitude? It's Friday. Why do you have an attitude?
It's freezing. I said it's freezing.
How can you have attitude on Friday? She's going to be part of our all-star panel this morning. Amanda's going to be sitting in with Bruce is away, and we'll have Rick, Jane, and Amanda's going to be sitting in on our all-star political panel. We are at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge. Beautiful morning. It was 24 degrees or something like that when I came out of the house, so it's nice and cold. Get your jean jacket out from 1980. I'm tired of hearing it, folks. Why? I need to know. Why? Why will they not leave me alone when I want to wear my jean jacket? You can't wear that. You shouldn't wear that. That's all I hear. But you know, and I know, the jean jacket works. What do you call me?
Denim Dan.
Denim Dan.
Oh,
Okay, that would be JR here at Circuit World. He has to leave. JR has to leave at 8:15. Why do you have to leave at 8:15?
Gotta go unload trucks.
He's got to go unload trucks. Tractor trailer loads coming in to their warehouse. That means only one thing: sales are happening here at Circuit World. So come in, see JR. They got tractor trailer loads. I mean, they went to a show or something and they made a major deal. And, you know, Jamie, you know, he gets back and he says, hey, by the way, I just bought all these tractor trailer loads of stuff. And like, oh my God, what are we going to do? We're going to have a sale, right?
Right.
6 months what?
Same as cash.
6 months, same as cash. Come in. What do you need? $5, $10? What do you need?
$10.
$10. You got $10. Come in. 6 months, same as cash at Circuit World. Now, hey, you know what I realized, Amanda? And we're going to talk about this Monday on the show. I realized I've been going to the gym, right? And I've been going to the gym, and I'm going to expand on this Monday, so you're going to want to tune in. I've been doing 2.5 miles. I could do that 2.5 miles. I go on the treadmill, do my 2.5. I try to get, you know, about 12 this past week. By Sunday, I'll have about 12 miles in, and I like that. But I've realized I'm not dressed appropriately. So Monday, I'm going to discuss that. Why do you look at me that way? I've realized over the last month that I'm going to the gym and I'm not dressing appropriately. We'll talk about that Monday. Okay, folks, let's
Tell them how to get in touch with the show so they can tell you not to wear that jean jacket again.
Okay, Amanda said, here's how you get in touch with the show so you can tell me not to wear my jean jacket again. Little does she know, next Friday, I'm bringing out the cowboy boots and hat. Right, JR?
Yes, sir.
Okay, JR voted cowboy boots and hat. Okay, but if you would like to suggest I not wear my jean jacket on the show, that's 706-889-9700. You can always get in touch with the show. Before we get Dr. Whaley in here at 8:15, we have Dr. Whaley Ask the Doc. At 8:45, we have the all-star political panel, and that is going to be Rick, Jane, Amanda, and myself. And then we finish the show 9:45. Never miss finishing up this show with our Pet of the Week. We love our Pet of the Week from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. That is the star of the show. I wonder if they still have Yogi. I mean, that just messed me up 2 weeks ago, that little puppy.
We'll have to ask.
Oh, I got to ask today if Yogi's still there and
We
available.
need therapy sessions in the office with Yogi.
Yeah, yes. I mean, I think we should have an office dog. Dude, let's vote on that today, okay?
Yeah, me, Sam, and Lonnie, therapy session with Yogi.
We need to have an office dog. We got to figure it out, so we will. Anyhow, today in the state of Georgia, qualifying ends at noon today. So for all of the state offices, for governor, secretary of state, lieutenant governor, attorney general, you name it, all the insurance commissioner of the state of Georgia, all of the qualifying ends at noon today, and you will know all the candidates for both parties. Just a quick update on how it works. You qualify for the primaries. That's what they're doing. To try to win their party's nomination. So you have qualifying on the Democrat side of the ticket and qualifying on the Republican side. That also goes for the county offices. Today at noon, qualifying ends. If you would like to find out the information at noon today, Amanda's going to be telling Sam knows this, and all of our reporters that at noon today, I want to be the first FYN TV to finalize qualifying. So you go to fetchyournews.com. Go to fetchyournews.com. Click on your county. For example, Fannin County. You click on that, and there's a button there that says 2018, election 2018, or just go to election 2018, and you can find it very easily there. And The qualifying article is up. Board of Education, commissioners, you name it. If it's up for election in your county or the state, you will find it there. That ends today at noon. Now, let me get into, I really get, if I say I get excited, I probably have people on the other side of the camera go, oh, no, really? But I really get excited. I know. It's like, I really get excited the night before the show. I know you're laughing out there, okay? But I get excited the night before the show when I know I'm going to come in and get the opportunity to tell you something that no one else is going to tell you. I really do. I know I'm going to get to do this, okay? I know that I'm going to get to tell you something this morning about North Korea, South Korea, President Donald Trump, that MSNBC is not telling you. Now, MSNBC wants to lead you to believe Minka with, I won't say anything bad. It's Friday. I'll be nice, okay? Minka and Joe, Muskrat Love, okay? So they want you to believe that the only reason President Donald Trump said he would meet with North Korea, okay? So they want you to believe, here's what's happened. And this is very serious. It might sound like a joke, but yesterday the President of the United States had a little summit meeting with video game manufacturers, also known as producers of murder simulators. Right, exactly. Murder simulators. That's what these games are. They're live murder simulators. We'll talk about it later. So they want you to believe, and this might sound like a joke, that the President of the United States was sitting in a video game meeting and they all had PlayStation controllers and they're playing a video game, and Donald Trump is eating a Big Mac and drinking a Diet Coke and said, hey, I know how to get Stormy Daniels off the front page. Go out and tell him I'll meet with the little fat guy in North Korea. You know, the guy with the haircut and, the jacket that's just buttoned straight down, wears black every day? That guy, right? Rocket Man? Tell him I'll meet with Rocket Man. That'll get me off the front page. Folks, don't believe that garbage today. Do not believe that President Trump got so upset over Hope Hicks leaving the White House and Rocket and Stormy Daniels, the porn star that he allegedly, just saying, okay, met one day, just saying.
Met one day.
Porn star news later, okay? So anyhow, what they want you to believe is that President Trump called, okay, the South Korean foreign minister and said, hey, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to rush over here, go out to the mic. I need Stormy off the front page. I need you to go out there and do a front for me and say that South Korea and North Korea have set up a meeting and I'm accepting it. Can you do that? I need a little help. It didn't happen, folks. The South Korean government they're not complicit in helping Donald Trump do something that is that spontaneous, okay? Now, here's something I told you. I was all excited because a lot of people don't know, and they're going to question this, and they're going to call me names. But then again, Friday, they call me names Monday through Thursday, right? So why should Friday be any different? But they're going to go to the Joint Security Area, the Peace House, okay? Now, Amanda is showing you two pictures of the Peace House, the demilitarized zone. Now, here's something that they will not tell you on CNN. They will not tell you. The North Korean government, okay, does not consider the war over from 1954. They don't. They still consider that they are actively at war. Now, they have met with UN representatives at the Peace House. So the Peace House was built in this demilitarized zone, I think in 1954. In 1954, I think it was built. The demilitarized zone. They built the Peace House so there could be negotiations, okay? Nations Command signed the Armistice Agreement at 10 a.m. on July 27, 1953, halting, okay? So what I'm saying is the war's not officially over for North Korea. A lot of people don't know that. The Peace House was built. A lot of people don't know that that was built for North Korean dictator or leader and South Korean leader, president to come together and meet to finalize a peace agreement. It's never happened. There has never been this meeting in the Peace House. Hasn't happened. Okay? North Korea has come to the Peace House with UN delegation. but not South Korea. South Korean president and North Korean president are going to sit down. All right? And then Donald Trump's going to meet with Rocket Man in May. Now, the South Korean foreign minister that came out to the microphones last night outside the front of the White House said that due to President Donald Trump's strong position on North Korea, drying up their bank accounts, going to China and looking them in the eye, okay, and saying, I'm going to do something about them. Going to Japan and looking them in the eye. Don't forget, Donald Trump did that. He said, I'm going to do something about them. Bill Clinton in 1994 sent Jimmy Carter and supposedly had a deal. Really? Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, a deal? Wow. Now the media wants to lead you to believe today that if Jimmy Carter and Bill Clinton could not make this deal in 1994, what makes Donald Trump? Guess what they're doing? They don't understand the art of the deal. They should get the book. But President Donald Trump went this past year in 1 year, and he will figure out how to solve what I call 24 years of failed foreign policy. Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Barack Hussein Obama. Okay, Bill Clinton, 8 years. George W., 8 years. Barack Hussein Obama, 8 years. I don't have time to go through all the failed Secretary of States. Okay? Now, Rex Tillerson did not get embarrassed, and the media is going to let you know that 2 hours before that, Rex Tillerson saying we're far apart on talks, and that Donald Trump just does that. Doesn't happen. The State Department and nobody's going to come out and play their cards in front of the media for Joe Scarborough and CNN to get it all wrong. They're not going to do it. And the South Korean foreign leader did not come out. Foreign minister come out because Donald Trump called him in the White House and said, hey, could you help do me a favor and get me off the front page with the porn star? Didn't happen. I'm just telling you. So what's going to take place is the art of the deal. President Donald Trump went to China, looked him in the eye and said, you're going to do something or I'm going to do something. Japan looked him in the eye, President. Indonesia, South Korea. Donald Trump told the little guy in North Korea, I'll wipe you off the face of the earth. There will no longer be, the one thing you will never meet in this world again if you mess with me is somebody that says I'm from North Korea. That's what Donald Trump said. Little guy said, hey, I got a red button. Donald Trump said, mine's bigger and it works. Keep playing with me. Guess what? The guy's people are starving. I don't think they care. All jokes aside, in the South Koreans are 4 to 5 inches taller than their genetic counterparts in North Korea, because at one time they were the same, because of malnutrition. They're starving to death. Donald Trump's not playing games. So don't believe all this media garbage today. Do not believe it. We're going to get it straight. So I was so excited that I could come tell you there is something that I know is very boring to you. Okay? I understand that. It's called the Korean Armistice Agreement. Okay? And during 1954 in the Geneva Conference, which took place in Geneva, Switzerland, Chinese foreign minister suggested that the peace treaty should be implemented on the Korean peninsula. However, U.S. Secretary of State at that time, John Foster Dulles, did not accommodate this attempt to achieve such a treaty. The final peace settlement has never been achieved. Never been achieved. This is big that Donald Trump's going there. Where we don't know where they're going to meet. Now, don't worry, folks. He's not going to give anything away. One of my favorite meetings, why I was so excited this morning, is remember the media shaking in their boots, shivering, not because it was cold, but because Ronald Reagan got up from the table in Reykjavik and told Gorbachev, I'll see you later. This is how it works, and if you don't like it, I'm going home. And he got up and left. Oh my God, Ronald Reagan walked out of Reykjavik, and here's the classic picture of Gorbachev, Reagan walking down through there, Mikhail Gorbachev, and you know what? And Reagan went home. Boom, I got up and left, and the media went nuts. Their nerves were shot. Oh my God, look what Reagan's done. He got up and walked away from the table. Don't worry. Donald Trump will look this guy in the eye. Now, one last thing before I get Dr. Whaley in here. I might be running a little long. I got to get the good doctor in here. But one last thing, don't worry. because I've got $100. You want $100? I got it. I'm doing it on the show. Why the hell do I do stuff like this? But Donald Trump is going to look this little jackass in the eye and say, you know what? I'm here for two reasons. One, you're going to get straight. You're going to get straight now. And two, I want to look you in the eye and tell you, you murdered Otto Warmbier. And you know what? I'm here to tell you it's not okay. You got it? I mean, he is going to look him. I cannot wait. Now, the media is not going to get it correct, but I know there's going to be a delegation that gets what happens in this media out. And I'm telling you, I'm excited about that. Now, yesterday, all right, Florida. Just want to say this because I want to bring it up on the All-Star Political Panel. Florida moved the age, okay? Florida moved the age to buy long guns to 21. Let's go there for a minute, okay? 21, 3-day pause for background checks. All these things are new for Florida, okay? Let me tell you something. Mankind does not want to kill. I may believe in the Second Amendment. I may own a gun. I may own a carry permit, have a carry permit. But I'm just telling you, the majority of people do not want to know that they leave this world, that they've killed somebody and took a life. I'm just telling you, they don't. The military, when these young people go in the military, there are simulators to turn these people into killers. I know you don't like the comments I'm making, but the military is to kill people and win wars, okay, not the nation build. So they got to teach these kids. These kids come in, it's not their instinct. They don't want to come in and say, oh, I want to kill. So they have to teach them. So they push them in front of these simulators. And they simulate combat over and over and over in these kids. Flight combat over and over. Damn it, your kids are sitting in front of murder simulators, and the video game corporations say, we'll put an M on there. We'll put an M for mature. What the hell? What do you mean mature? Oh, 14 years old, no 3-day background check to see if the damn kid's going to be crazy one day from the murder simulator that they're playing 8 hours a day. No background check for that. No psychological check for that. Don't you? Hey, look, old guy here, I'm still on a PS2. All right, I'm on a PlayStation 2. I'm still playing Atari Pong. All right? My worst thing is killing Yellow Jackets in Galaxy in 1980 at the daggone, what they used to have at the mall? The arcade. I know I'm old. I know it's funny. But I'm telling you, these big 72-inch TVs in 4K have murder simulators. But what do? Well, we got M for mature. Okay, I wasn't supposed to get worked up. Let me back this down, settle this down. Okay, I'm your host, BKP. I'm live at Circuit World. I am definitely live, right? Live, you can't miss that. At Circuit World Blue Ridge. Hey, you guys okay? I didn't upset anybody over there, did I? Just checking. Oh, they're not talking anymore. Here comes Sam. Dr. Whaley's waiting. I'm running a little long. Ask the good doc the question right after these messages. Take us out of here.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes! Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hut.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart.
Had the time of my life. I never felt like this before. I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you. I'll tell you something. This could be love because I've had the time of my life. I've never felt like this before, 'cause I've had the time of my life.
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP, and it's time for Ask the Doc. We want to thank Northside Hospital Cancer Institute, the Georgia Cancer Specialist, for sponsoring this segment. Dr. Whaley, how are you today?
Great, yourself.
I'm great. I was a little worked up, but I took the 4 minutes to relax. Can you pick that up? Are we that close? Can you pick up how relaxed I am now?
Yeah, what you didn't do, though.
Oh, what didn't I do? Don't get me worked up.
Well, you were talking about arcades and everything. See,
Yeah.
you got to start us there. You're going to have to shift your pizza buying habits.
Why?
You don't know about the difference between Papa John's and the Pizza Hut?
No, what's the difference?
Well, you know, Papa John's was the official, Sam, you know this? What was it?
They were the official sponsor of the NFL.
And
Now they're not.
and why are they not?
Because of the whole taking a
Because
knee.
the president of the CEO, the guy on the TV, ate the NFL out bad about the knee thing. He said, look, this ain't right. So the NFL's kicking him out, and they're going over to Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got to stick with Papa John's. It's like when they
You're
had
not
that.
allowed to eat Pizza Hut anymore.
No more Pizza Hut. It's like when they. They boycotted. Like remember now when they boycotted the Chick-fil-A in New York.
Right.
Opened up the Chick-fil-A and all the left. Sam, you're not listening. When they boycotted the Chick-fil-A in New York, they were backed up blocks. People standing in line to get in Chick-fil-A and buy Chick-fil-A, protesting all those goody two-shoes. So.
Well, there's 2 things I don't want to gloss over. First of all, you need to know Rick's the troublemaker. It's not Sam. So if Sam's not listening, it's Rick's fault. But we just wanted to say that, right?
Yeah,
But I don't want to gloss. Rick's like, how did I get in trouble? What'd I do?
Rick did have valid.
So here's the thing I don't want to gloss over. Oh, wait a minute. Did you send her all the answers? Because you guys you're always saying Sam.
No, because she keeps up.
Actually studied this.
And Rachel Dolezal's gone on food stamps.
Oh, that is the white black lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to just
Okay,
think.
took me a minute.
I want you to think through this.
Elaborate on that.
Okay, I want you to think through this a little bit.
Well, what did I get wrong? What did I say?
2 years ago, this white woman who said she was black and had her hair all frizzed up,
Yes,
was the
I remember.
CEO of the NAACP.
Right.
And they fired her because she was born white to white parents. Well, now today, they've already told you when you go to kindergarten, you can tell them that you're a boy if you're a girl. You can tell them you're black if you're white. So they really should never have fired that lady 2 years ago. If now you can just say you're black, then you can be the head of the NAACP.
Yeah, she should be.
You know, I wish we would go back to the years when options were power windows or roll them up.
Yeah, right.
Kind of like when
Not
Jay,
your gender in kindergarten.
It's like when Jay Leno got fired for saying he wouldn't support Obama. Now
Right.
he should be reinstated because
Yeah.
everyone bashes Trump.
Anyway, so she's
Whoa!
she's
This
on
is Ask the
food
Doc. The all-star political battle comes
All
up
right,
next.
okay, all right, let's go ahead. So
You got them all involved.
Let
You,
him
I
into
know,
the
but you-
politics
did a
a
great
little bit.
job.
I know, but you always say you got to start with something that's fresh. And I was trying to give you your quiz. You know, you said the other day, I got to go home and study because Dr. Whaley's going to ask me a question. Well, so I'm asking you a question about the news now. And Sam and Amanda got the answers right. Okay, let's go.
All right, now you're going to have to. Let's start with our first question.
All right.
And you're going to have to pronounce these so I don't get them wrong. What is the difference between
sarcoma
and
carcinoma?
Folks, what is the difference of sarcoma and carcinoma?
Well, first of all, I mean, I really don't want to make light of it, but let's make light of it. Who really cares? Both of them are malignant. Both of them can vary between very indolent and mild cases on the one hand, very rapidly progressive and fatal cases on the other. But it's sort of like the difference between an automobile, a car, and a pickup truck. This past year, they sold more pickup trucks as primary vehicles for families than they sold cars. But they both get you from point A to point B. You got that picture up there for me? All right. This picture, which nobody's going to be able to read the numbers, shows a outline of a body with different size circles pointing to different types of tissue that are involved in, quote, sarcoma. Now, you can remember back in your high school biology that the body has what we call mesenchymal tissues. That's like muscles and stuff, and then epithelial and endothelial tissues. So sarcomas are generally muscle, fat, called a liposarcoma. The tumor of kids, osteogenic sarcoma, like the Kennedy kid had and lost his leg and all that. So sarcomas are particular tumors of the tissues that make up let's say the skeleton. And carcinomas are virtually everything else. Show up that big picture there. Sometimes people, you know, they get scared to death. They go to see the dermatologist, and he does the little hot cold thing. And he says, I don't need to worry about this one. He freezes them and they fall off. But then he says, wait a minute, I'm going to worry about this one. He takes a little scrape of it, and then he calls you back and he says, you've got a basal cell sarcoma, a basal cell carcinoma, or you've got a squamous cell carcinoma on your cheek. You need to come back in, and we need to take it. So those are minor skin malignancies, but they are carcinomas. Now, somebody comes in and they've got ovarian cancer on the list there. It starts at bladder, brain, breast, cervix, and goes all the way down to prostate. But virtually all of the cancers that you think of are also carcinomas. So they're malignancies, different origins of the tissue in the egg in the developing egg and fetus, and that's really just a term for pathology. We're making a lot more progress in all of the carcinomas because we know what the genetic changes are that drive them. We're learning less about the sarcomas, but the sarcomas are a tiny group of tumors compared to the carcinomas. Is that good enough, guys? Okay, I didn't want to, because it could get really complicated if I got much farther than that.
Okay, let's
go. Is that far enough?
That's far enough.
All right, go ahead.
I think this is one, I'm really interested in this question because Can nutrition help battle cancer or improve a cancer patient's quality of life?
Yes. Okay, and the next one? We've gone through this several times in the past. If you if you just take two groups of people with with cancer that is advanced to the point where you're having to treat them with chemotherapy or radiation, versus a patient who has a lumpectomy, they get their surgery, they take a little bit of chemo, they take radiation, and they end. If you're focusing where the nutrition is the most valuable, it's on the patient with advanced malignancy getting very heavy treatment. If you take those two groups of people, and we'll do the easy thing first, and one group exercises and the other group doesn't exercise, you don't really have to be a rocket scientist to think that the one that's going to exercise is going to do better than the one that doesn't. Is there any really good reason for that now when they got the same stage of cancer taking the same treatment? Yes. The one who exercises is going to have more lung capacity if he gets pneumonia. He's going to have better fitness if he gets a blood clot. So the exercise improves your ability to take the hits that you get from cancer therapy. Now, from nutrition. Soon as somebody starts thinking about cancer, they start getting on the internet, or their aunt in Idaho or somewhere starts sending them all this stuff, and it says broccoli and Brussels sprouts are anti-cancer drugs, and sugar feeds cancer, and bunches of myths of that sort. So the cancer patient quits eating much in the way of calories and starts eating spinach and things when he really needs a whole bunch of calories. So once we have somebody on advanced cancer treatment, we immediately have we're the fifth biggest cancer group in America. We got 25 nutritionists, and they have this video thing like this where they talk to the nutritionist. We get them immediately into the nutritionist. They need protein, and that protein helps them fight low blood counts and infection, and they need calories. I had a patient yesterday who keeps eating healthy, and I told the lady that brought him in, I said, I want you to take him down to that barbecue place in Ellijay, because he can get pecan pie with ice cream and French fries and a big old barbecue sandwich, and he wants to go out there and eat celery and stuff. So the answer is yes. Quality of life is much improved if you exercise, eat a diet that's got good protein to it and got plenty of calories, and the outcome is better. There.
Okay.
And taking a bunch of vitamins doesn't help.
Well, thank you for throwing that in. No, I'm serious, because
2.5 miles on a treadmill. What you're saying?
Yeah.
I prescribe that. I say, look, start. And by the way, I was getting ready to tell you, don't push it too fast, because you're giving enthusiasm for your progress. And I mentioned to you a few weeks ago, if you raise that product by more than 10% a week, 2 months from now, you may have a stress fracture or bad tendon, and you say, wait a minute, I haven't changed much. So don't push it too fast. But that 2.5 miles on a treadmill 3 days a week, if I was treating you for malignancy, I'd give you a gold star every time.
Got a gold star
every time.
That you just
all right. I mean,
they did not want me getting a gold star.
He doesn't get
over
many
there.
gold stars. Okay,
but I got one.
Oh, my
all right.
Okay, is there a recommended regular cancer screen? If so, how often should a person in their 30s and 40s, like myself, get one done? Is there a regular recommended cancer screen, and how often when you're in your 30s
Okay,
and
well,
40s?
this is such a complicated question. We talked about this a few weeks ago. We were talking about what Medicare will pay for and Medicare won't pay for, and then what various advocacy groups recommend. For example, I mentioned that the American College of Dermatology wants you to get a total body skin screen in your 20s, and you know, there's a lot of difference between what advocacy groups recommend and what insurance and Medicare will pay for. So the question's got two sides to it. So sort of the very conservative, tree-hugging insurance Medicare, Obamacare recommendations. All right, so this would be considered the minimum recommendations. I think that's worth putting it that way.
Okay,
And
no, I'm okay with it. I'm absolutely fine.
And when we run out of things to do, I'm going to talk about stuff that's popular in medicine. I'm going to talk about stem cells at the end, where it's totally junk, and people are out there trying to make money. All right, now, so in Sam's age group, between the ages of 20 and 29, we're going to start with adults. All of the recommendations regarding adults are basically about history. So you're going to want to know about the family history of colon cancer, breast cancer, and ovarian cancer. You're going to want to know about the sexual history of females because of the HPV and cervix cancer, and you want to ask that female, she's 22, 25 years old, and the male, did you get the HPV vaccine? And if they say no, then you go on and recommend that they get the vaccine. So in terms of what would be recommended and basically sort of paid for in a wellness exam, that's all history except the HPV vaccine for the adolescent who didn't get it by the time they're in their 20s. The dermatologist would tell you you need to have a total body skin inspection, and if you're at your private practitioner's office, let's say you're at a GYN office getting that history, you really would hope that they'd take your clothes off and look to where the sun doesn't shine. So now let's go to the next group. I think they asked about 30 to 39 and then 40 to 50. So 30 to 39, Sam, you got to listen to this because it's going to focus on women. 30 to 39 is the exact same history for the men, family history, colon cancer, prostate cancer, all still history, no physical exam. You don't take off your clothes, but in women here, you're going to emphasize that women need to know what their breasts look like and feel like under normal conditions, so that if they have a change in one breast that's not on the other side, they'll recognize it. So you learn about breast self-examination, and at that age group, they will have a breast exam by somebody who knows how to do it. And that then would be a gynecologist or a primary care physician that has an emphasis on it. This is the time when they will begin having a pap smear. They can do it at every 5 years if they have had HPV testing, every 3 years if they have not. But that's the only test, pap smear in females, that's recommended below the age of 39. So when you now we're asking the question about 40 to 49, so that's the next decade. So now we're going to go back to the history of, did your dad have prostate cancer? Now we're going to focus a little bit more on men. If you are an African American male, then at this age group, you're going to have your first PSA. You're going to have a digital rectal exam. And if you're a white male or a non-African American male, and at least 2 family members at any generation have had prostate cancer, you're going to get your first PSA, and you're going to get a digital rectal exam. Now that female, again, is going to get her breast exam. She's going to be doing it herself. And if there's a family history of cancer of the breast, where several family members have had either breast or ovarian cancer, you'll get your first mammogram in that decade of 30 to 39. Once you've hit 40 to 49, women are going to get their first mammogram at age 45. The recommendation of the diagnostic radiologist is annual mammograms after 45. Recommendations of the people who pay for it sometimes are every 2 years after age 45. I recommend every year after age 45. But if you had a positive family history of a lot of breast cancers, we gave you that first one, remember, at 35 or 40. So after 45, they start doing that. We still got to stick with the pap smears for these women who are sexually active at every 3 to 5 years. Once you get to 50, now everybody in here except for these young women at the bar are over 50, colonoscopy at age 50 is the age at which we should do it. If you've got that strong family history of colon cancer, which I was talking about before, you may be getting your first colonoscopy at age 40 to 49, like the women with the breast cancer history got their first mammogram at the age of 30 to 39. At age 65, talk about what does Medicare pay for. At age 65, Medicare will pay for mammograms, Medicare will pay for colonoscopy, Medicare will pay for pap smears every 5 years. So now you've gotten to the point about what kind of cancer screen will somebody pay for. And below the age of 65 in Medicare, it becomes a battle of what kind of insurance do you have. So is that
Yes, it
comprehensive
is.
enough?
That was very good. That was comprehensive enough, and it did explain, 20 to 29, 29 to 30, and then 30 to 40 got into my age group there, and then you
just
gave
remember
me the 50 and above, something to look forward to.
Just remember, when you turn 50,
okay,
you got to get a colonoscopy at 50. You got to get the PSA at 50, regardless of what the Medicare people and this stuff say about not wanting to pay for it. And you've got to let somebody examine you and actually put their finger on your prostate when you're 50. And girls, you got to let somebody put their hands on your breast in the 20s and teach you how to do it in your 20s. And it's just got to be done. Somebody's got to examine
I
you.
have a question, Dr.
Sure.
Willie. I've actually had a few family members and a few friends get breast cancer between the ages of 20 to 30.
Yes.
Why don't insurances push for that age range?
Because
instead?
the incidence is so small that the cost benefit in terms of dollars per case found is above what they're willing to pay. And then the argument used to be that the amount of radiation you would start getting if you did it in your 20s and did it annually to the breast begins to exceed the amount of radiation that you want to be getting that you don't have to have. And so I'm going to give you what they're going to tell you, although I don't agree with all of it. Oh, and lastly, between the ages of 50 and 59, let's talk about people who might have smoked. Sam, when I say that you've smoked X number of pack years, do you have that in your head? Pack years. Okay, so if you smoke a half a pack a day for 30 years, you've smoked 15 pack years. If you smoke 2 packs a day for 15 years, you've smoked 30 pack years. So that number of 30 is the age, it is the accumulated amount of smoking that makes it suggested that you get what's called a low-dose CAT scan of your chest for early detection of lung cancer. Now, regular insurance, many of the regular insurance plans that emphasize prevention actually pay for that. So if you buy history and you smoked when you were younger and you add the number of years in the packs per day and it gets to 30, then at about age 50, they'll start doing that CT scan of your chest for you. And that is a paid-for thing and is recommended. So I'll throw that out there for the people who might have smoked.
I want to double down on that next week. I want to get to this last question in our All-Star panel, but I do want to double down on that next week because I want to go a little further into that. Why is gallbladder removal the automatic prescription when gallstones are found? Are there any alternatives? So gallstones, and the doctor comes in and says, hey, we got to take your gallbladder out next Tuesday at 2 o'clock. Why is that immediately the decision?
Okay, well,
and is there any other alternative?
Yeah, well, I've been doing this program for a lot of years, and so I've got this, and the radio program, and I've got a favorite saying that I've used many times. And Sam, that statement is, to a hammer, everything is a nail. Okay.
Well, you were on a roll today.
I had no idea where he was going with
All
that.
right. So now, and then the other one is, if it ain't broke,
Don't fix it.
all right, so everybody's heard both of those. The presence of gallstones does not mandate any therapy. The presence of gallstones does not mandate any therapy. So quite frequently, people will go and they'll have some sort of an x-ray of the chest because they fell and they broke a rib, and they'll say, oh, and you've got gallstones. Or they'll have a kidney stone and they do it in an ultrasound and they say, well, you got a kidney stone, you pass it, you got gallstones. Okay, that patient with asymptomatic gallstones should be left alone. That's number one. Second, you've got a patient who is got acute abdominal pain. They go to the ER, they ultrasound them, the thing gets better. First attack of gallstones generally is observed and not treated by surgery. Now, when the patient comes in and they're yellow as a gourd, they got an acute abdominal pain and a high white blood cell count, and they got gallstones, you've now reached the emergency situation where you got an obstruction, you got an infection, and that group of people has to be treated in some fashion to remove it. So the question was, are there options? Yes. First of all, just because they're there, don't take it out. Second, most people who have a first attack of gallstones are told to watch it. You may never have another. 30 to 50% never have a second episode, so why take out the gallbladder? 30 to 50% never have a second episode means that 50 to 70% have a second episode. And in that situation, laparoscopic gallbladder surgery is the treatment of choice. 750,000 of those operations are done in the United States every year. They're extremely safe. You go in a hospital, you're out by 4 in the afternoon, and you drive, you go to work the next day. When I was in training, they made a slice that long into your rib cage, you're in the hospital for a week. So that operation is safe, it's done by somebody who knows what they're doing, and 750,000 of them are done a year. In terms of options to that, when you have only one stone and it's lodged down in the bottom of the bile duct, there endoscopic retrograde cholangiopancreatography, otherwise called ERCP, where they look in there and they take a little thing and they open up the tube and it falls out. That's a non-operative option. You don't see it very often. Everybody will say, well, wait a minute, my brother had big kidney stones and they broke them up with a shock wave and he passed them. Can you break up these things with shock wave? And the answer is essentially no, but a couple of times in the world it's been done. And last of all, there's a pill called Actigall, Actigall, that you can take if it's a cholesterol stone, and you may have to take it for 1 to 3 years, and it can dissolve the stone. It can't dissolve any with calcium in it, and it can't dissolve any stone that's not cholesterol, and most of them are cholesterol, and it's not very often used. There.
Okay, so now I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You're always giving everybody else a test.
All right.
Now here's your test.
Okay.
So I no longer have a gallbladder. It's gone.
Right. Okay, good.
All right. So I had a couple episodes. All right.
Yes.
So finally the decision was made. It had to go out. So I sit down with the doctor, and the doctor said, okay, Tuesday at 10 o'clock, we're going to take the gallbladder out. I said, no, we're not doing it Tuesday at 10 o'clock. He said, yes, we do it Tuesday at 10 o'clock. That's the day I come in to do it. I said, no, we do it on Friday. He said, I do not do gallbladder surgeries on Friday. I said, you'll do this one on Friday. Okay? So he took my gallbladder out on Friday. Why did I insist on my gallbladder being taken out on Friday?
Because you wouldn't have to go on TV the next morning.
No. Because if he did it on Tuesday, I'd miss 2 days' work. On Friday, at 2 o'clock, I could work early in the morning. I'd go into the office, see what's going on, run over to the hospital, get the gallbladder back, be back by Monday.
That's what I did with my cataract.
That's why I did it. Yeah.
That's how I did my cataract.
You don't believe that? That's a true story.
And do you want to know why?
We work with you every day. Yes, we
No,
believe
no, lots
And
of
do you wanna
doctors
know-
actually do prefer to do surgeries on Fridays now, I've noticed, because of work schedule. So.
Do you want to know why he doesn't want to do it on Friday?
No, why?
Because
That was 19.
no,
That was 1998. He's got a golf.
No.
You stay out of this. What?
he doesn't want to do it on Friday because if there's a complication and you have to spend the night or he has to come back in, that means he's got to go to the hospital on Saturday morning and let you out. And
Okay, I see
he
that.
doesn't want to do that on the weekend. So if he does it during the week, on Friday, he's available for anybody on Wednesday and Thursday that had a problem, but he'll use that day in his office to see new patients to schedule for surgery the next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
1997, I went in the office that morning. I checked to make sure everything was going okay. I left at 10 o'clock. I went over to Baptist Hospital in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Went into Baptist Hospital there in Winston-Salem, North Carolina about 10:30. got prepped, had the gallbladder out at 2, went home at 4:30, relaxed over the weekend, played golf that Monday right after I showed up for work. Got it? What do you want to close with?
I think.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that, Dr. Whaley?
I gave him a gold star earlier. He's taken it to. He's gone to his head.
Dr. Whaley, it's gone.
Okay, I really want to make a point out of this because I've had this question asked by people that are very dear to me. Wednesday at the American Academy of Orthopedics, a signature study was presented about stem cell injections into joints. And you've got people that all around here that talk about the stem cell center. In the United States today, 600 for-profit places are doing, quote, same-day stem cell injections for knees, hips, or other joints, and they are touting success of 80 to 100% in helping pain and relieving joints and so forth. First of all, there is not one scintilla of evidence, of scientific evidence, that the stem cell taking from your fat or your peripheral blood, spun down and injected into the joint, helps anything. And the price that they charge is $2,000 to $12,000, depending on where you are. No insurance pays for it, and it's the largest new profit center for orthopedics, rheumatologists, and people with no joint training whatsoever. And they're putting up these centers, and they're not regulated by the FDA. They're not regulated. They don't have any regulation. And so they're putting them up, and they're telling you that if they take this out of your fat, that they can make your knee be better, or that they can put stem cells underneath your eye and make these little bags go away, or they can put them over here and tighten up your chin. And the stem cells are the cure for multiple myeloma after chemotherapy. The first patient in the world to ever get a stem cell transplant for sickle cell disease got it last week. And so that's a totally different thing. It costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. And you'll see that stem cells are doing all of this magic stuff, and it's really technical, and it's in a small number of places. Well, people just leaped all over that, and they're making money hand over fist, and it's a total scam. So when the American Academy of Orthopedics, and a lot of the people that are doing that, orthopods, comes out and has this whole great big seminar on it, it's sort of like the Oracle at Delphi saying, guys, your behavior needs to change down here because this isn't right. So I just don't want anybody going out there getting stem cell injections this afternoon and thinking they're going to get well, and that's a scam everybody needs to know about.
Thank you, Dr. Whaley. I appreciate it. We also appreciate Georgia Cancer Specialist Northside Hospital Cancer Institute for sponsoring this segment, Ask the Doc with Dr. William Whaley. If you have a question that you would like to get to the doc and have answered on our show on Friday, you send that to info, I-N-F-O, at FetcherNews.com, info at FetcherNews.com. Put in the subject there, Ask the Doc. We'll get that to Dr. Whaley throughout the week and try to get an answer on the show. And yes, if you need surgery, schedule it at 2 on Friday afternoon so you can be back to work Monday. And I am the greatest boss in the world, and I know why. I have the cup that says greatest boss in the world, right?
And he got a gold star for the 2.5 miles.
Ask the Doc,
3 days a week.
all-star panel right after this. Unemployment, 4%. Who would have thought? Take a break.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they say there. Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there.
The Tupelo Tea mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
Better days ahead. It's just this simple. Nobody beats Days on price. If it's a Chevy, you'll pay less at Days Chevrolet in Jasper. Now save $4,000 off a new 2018 Chevy Malibu, or save up to $10,000 off a new 2018 Silverado Crew Cab. It doesn't matter which Chevy you choose. Nobody beats Days on price. $10,000 off Silverados and $4,000 off Malibus at Days Chevy in Jasper.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Papa's Pizza to Go in downtown Blue Ridge is the best in the area all-you-can-eat buffet. Call ahead or order online now at papaspizzatogo.com. Use our convenient pickup window for the best in pizza, subs, wings, breadsticks, salads, and more. And be sure to check out our lively game room. We serve lunch and dinner, catering available, take out or dine in. Papa's Pizza to Go in Blue Ridge, proud sponsors of the Fannin County Rebels.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Oh my goodness.
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP, and it's now time for the All-Star Political Panel. We're happy to have Amanda joining us today. Bruce is she is sitting in for Bruce.
Yes, Bruce is replacing.
Where's your orange folder?
Yeah. Where's your info? Bruce,
Not
we
prepared.
hope you have a safe trip, you and your family, and enjoy your time off. And where's your red sweater? Where's that?
Thought I'd change it up.
So Jane has switched up here, going with the green.
Dartmouth.
And this Dartmouth green, and this would be Jane. This would be Rick and Amanda, and I'm your host, BKP. We're at Circuit World here in Blue Ridge. Circuit World has 5 locations: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, Blairsville, Murphy, North Carolina, and Franklin, North Carolina. And every deal is the same. Any Circuit World you walk into right now for $10 down, just $10, 6 months, same as cash. Okay, where do we start?
By turning that off of MSNBC, the best.
We do it for
comedic relief.
No. So
Yeah.
where we could see.
We do
where
it for
the evil
comedic
ones are going.
relief.
But you
All
get
right.
cooties.
We're doing it for parallel reasons.
I think we ought to start with porn star. How did it not start? I mean,
Why?
what?
I should have known. Oh my God.
That's what they do.
This is like 3 days in a row.
Please.
Get it out. Get it out.
Stormy.
Get it out. Just get
The
it out.
broadcast.
weather.
The weather is stormy.
We could sing this song. Oh, stormy.
Oh, that one. I like stormy weather better. It's more sultry. I don't think we ought to talk about her. Don't give her any more anything.
Yeah, she wants the attention.
Okay,
You're
so
giving
we-
it to her.
She wants money.
The line you said yesterday.
Oh, please. I can imagine.
I didn't say anything. The news is percolating over the story.
Stop it.
I didn't say it. The news did.
I
Rick,
do not
don't
believe
act
you.
don't act like the good guy here. Don't let he cannot play good guy
I think
role.
I'm glad
don't,
I didn't hear.
Do not leave me. Don't leave me hanging out here. If I'm in the 6th grade, you're no further than 7th. Folks, you know what? Last night, at about 8:30, the North Korean foreign minister or whatever comes out to the microphones in front of the White House after he's in there with the President of the United States, and he announces that Donald Trump will meet with Kim Jong-il, whatever his name is.
That's the dad.
Kim Jong-un.
Un. It's an un.
Il's
It's not
dead
it's an
already.
un. All right, Il's dead. No, that's true.
He
All
was
right.
ill, so he
Un.
We're gonna
So
recite
Kim
his name.
Jong-un,
Try.
he will meet with him sometime
right
in
there.
May.
Good job.
Sometime in May. And the media immediately, certain media is saying, well, he did that to get all the bad press off of the TV and focus on something else. But you and I both know that something like that South Korea is not going to come out to the microphone and run cover for Donald Trump to get something off the front page of the paper.
I heard this morning, I think it was last night though, because it was on Fox and it was a CNN or MSNBC, the woman with the short dark hair that's always just awful.
There's so many.
I don't know her name, but she said
On MSNBC?
I don't know if
You're
but
talking about Rachel Maddow?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Rachel Maddow.
Yeah,
Mad
Rachel,
Cow.
yeah, she's a good guy.
She was saying, she was saying that. Remember when Trump was saying we're going to bomb North Korea if they do anything? And she said, "Oh, he's a warmonger and he should talk, and that's just ridiculous." So this morning she said he's going to talk with him. Why has no other president in the history of the United States talked with them? Because, maybe it's dangerous. So now, when he's talking to them, it's a stupid thing because it's dangerous. Before, when he said, if you do anything else, I'll bomb you, he was a warmonger and he should be talking. That kind of thing drives me
What do you think
up a
about the
wall.
announcement that he will meet with him?
I think it's wonderful.
I do
mean, I
too.
think it's typical Trump. The pragmatic guy that he is, looks at the problem. It's not Democrat, it's not Republican, it's not Libertarian. It's a problem we need to solve. So how do we get there? We figure out who I need to talk to, what kind of pressure do I need to bring this guy to the table, and it all works out. No money spent, no concessions made. You don't know what's going to happen at the end of the day. They might give a concession here or there. They maybe throw a little food their way so they can feed these people.
No, I mean, that's
But at the end of the day,
very
Trump
serious.
is Trump.
Yeah.
He does. I mean, you
He's
look at
brilliant.
the trade deal and everything else. He's done the trade deal the same way. He threw it out there that he's going to just blow up all the tariffs. And where does he end up? He ends up with a moderate stance. We're going to bomb the hell out of North Korea. Where does he end up? At a negotiating table.
He's
Hell
going to wipe him
no.
off the face of the earth. What do you think about him meeting with the dictator of North Korea?
I think it's great. I think he's a mover and a shaker, and he's going to have some resolvement.
Well, I'll tell you what, folks, if you ever get a chance, okay, we have it on YouTube. Sam and I did a very detailed segment now it's almost getting back to almost a year ago. It's been 7-8 months ago. But we did a very detailed, and we put the pictures of all the Secretary of State, presidents, and we went all the way back from Clinton, and we did what I called 24 years of failed policy in North Korea. We did that a year ago, and we walked all the way through it, and we even played the videos of Bill Clinton coming out and saying it's a big day for America in 1994 and the deal that, did not work.
We'll watch them closely.
This was put on the president's desk, and I have said, we're talking about you threw in tariffs. Now, I don't want to get convoluted here, but let's go with that. Nothing on the enemy propaganda station here this morning. Zero. Okay? On it. We turned it on this morning. I didn't put the picture up, but TPP was signed yesterday, and they had a big arm-in-arm picture.
Kumbaya.
And who was not there? There.
The Trumpster.
America was not there. We
Nope.
didn't sign, did we? Campaign promise kept. Right?
In fact, he was questioned about it. Someone threw a question out when he was trying to leave about Trans-Pacific Partnership. He said, it's a bad deal. We're not going in there. We're not going there unless they renegotiate it.
Love it.
Promise kept. So he's going to meet with him in May. and he's going to meet with him in May. And I like everything about it because I said last night to Lisa, I said, he'll not get any credit for this. Okay? No credit whatsoever.
No.
I said, you know, even with the media is just flat out evil. These people are evil.
They're saying Obama really set it up.
They're
I've heard
evil.
people
I
say
mean, no,
that.
they are flat out evil because they want to lead you to believe that Trump had enough pressure over the foreign minister. Did you see the announcement of the South Korean foreign minister?
Yes,
that
I
came
did.
out? Okay. Do you really think he went in the White House and Trump said, hey, I need a little help here. I'm having a bad week. Will you
No.
go out and do this for me?
No.
Right?
Right.
He didn't run cover for Donald Trump. But he came out and he did say, based on the pressure. Right, that Trump put on the North Korea regime there, that this is what's resulted, right?
Yes.
Did he come out, and I say this not jokingly, did he come out and say, you know what, we went in and we finally got Donald Trump to realize that the Korean women's hockey team unified both countries. Did he say that? No, he didn't say that, right? That his sister coming to the Olympics is none of that, right? I'm just saying.
It was all fluff. You mentioned something, and let me go one step away from everything we've been talking about. You said campaign promise held.
Yes, kept. Yeah.
There's only one in my mind. He can keep all the campaign promises he wants, but in order to keep his base solid, there's one campaign promise that he must keep.
What is that?
Immigration.
Oh yeah.
Immigration.
Immigration. If we don't seal the borders like he promised, I think there's going to be a fracture in the base.
Okay.
He's trying, don't you think?
Absolutely,
Okay, what do
he's
you
trying.
think? Do you think he's trying to keep his promise there?
I do.
You think he's trying to keep it?
That's exactly why he put the DACA deadline out there. He's done the same thing with the tariffs. He's done the same thing with the North Koreans. He's thrown a bomb out there, and let's get it done and bring it to the table. That's the pragmatic president that we got. He's the right guy at the right time.
Okay, so let's say this. If the wall is not built, now some things could happen, but Amanda, if the wall is not built, will his base blame him for it? Or will they say, we watched and we saw, seen, see today, all of them, I'll get them
That
somewhere.
was a good stab at it.
All right.
Let's
We've
decline
seen
that
it
again,
in,
okay?
we saw it somewhere. We've seen it in the history books.
How
Whatever.
about the grammar books? We're going to look
Yeah.
in there too.
You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it.
Like
Anyhow,
I feel like if it's not done, as the society that we are, a harsh society, everyone's going to come down on him either way.
you think so?
Either way.
I think the
You talk about the wall in
Yes.
particular?
Yeah.
Yeah,
if it's
because-
not built.
Because
The
by
liberals
time,
were
by
bang it,
time,
bang it,
let me
bang it.
just say this, okay, for correction. By time 2020 comes about for a re-election, saw, seen, and see will apply in the discussion of the wall somewhere.
have seen. And
Have
the
seen.
thing is that the
Have seen.
liberals are going to, if he doesn't get that wall built by 2020, they're going to say, see, he's ineffective, he can't do this. Although
Either
they're the
way.
ones, they're going to
So
spin
we
it.
have seen Trump try.
We have seen, you never say seen without have in front of it or has. Never,
Okay.
ever,
Never, ever.
ever. That's easy.
I plan to do it again just on purpose. Okay, so
The cumulative
Where's that
effect, I
bell?
think,
Ding.
hold on.
Remember-
He's using the word cumulative.
I think a cumulative effect will pacify the base. In other words, it's not just dependent upon one thing happening. If the wall gets done and we don't have total reformation of this disaster we got for an immigration policy, it's not going to matter. They're going to give him a pass if part of the wall's not done or whatever, as long as we secure the borders and we start to take the laws that we've already got in place and start enforcing them. You know what I mean? That was
Well,
a little
let's-
convoluted, but
Well,
Yeah,
no,
but
no,
we
no.
gotta enforce them.
You're getting into another discussion, but I agree 100%. We continue to talk about what we are going to do new, as opposed to just enforcing the law we have on the book.
Good night,
Would,
yeah.
You know, that would change.
thank
a
you,
lot of
Oakland
things.
Mayor. Just
Oh,
enforce
okay. All right.
the laws we have on the
Okay,
books.
folks.
Why isn't she in jail?
We expected 200. I'm just looking because it was earlier. We're expecting 200,000 jobs, 315, 4% unemployment. If you don't have a job, it's your fault. It's your fault. If you're not at work today, it's your fault. Period. Sorry. Didn't mean it like that because you didn't take
Might
the
have
job.
gallbladder surgery
Huh?
scheduled. You never know.
You could have gallbladder surgery. But, I mean, we're down to 4% unemployment. The economy is roaring in so many ways. Jobs are coming back in manufacturing. He has taken the tariff issue. People don't understand. It's a hard one to put into play with people, and don't take this wrong. I'm not diminishing anybody's understanding. It's like, I may not get my seesaws correct, okay? But I will tell you this. Don't test me on dumping steel in this country and what the effect is, because that one I know. All right, I've watched them dump the steel in this country, and I watched what happened, and I know what coils of steel went for back in the 90s, and you know, so I think he's right in saying I'm not a tariffs guy. Where do you feel about that?
You know, tariffs a tough issue. I'm not a big tariff guy either, as long as it's selective. If the tariff is used, and you know, well, he did what Reagan did actually. You know, he went back to the Reagan years when he based everything on this little used principle of domestic protection. That's what he used for cover, I think, to put this in place. When Reagan was president, we had a really tough time with the tool and die makers in this country. They were getting hammered by the Japanese and all the other tools. Tools are used in generality to that's the big machine that helps them mold all the plastic parts and things like that. So they're real intricate pieces that are used in manufacturing. And the local tool and die makers were getting hammered. What did Reagan do? He put a tariff on all the tools that were coming in. And he did it under the guise of protection for the U.S. Trump did the same thing. That's why it's given all of this latitude where he can stop and start it anytime he wants. He can include countries that he doesn't want to take advantage of us. And I think that's why you're going to see it's going to all narrow down to China and their manipulation of the currency and their dumping. He's not going to take advantage of Sheffield Steel. He's not going to take advantage of our partners in Australia. I'm going along on this, but that's kind of what I think the whole thing is about and how it was
Well,
molded.
I think the President of the United States actually looks at the big picture. And nobody touches the big picture like him. And I'm going to say this for a reason, because I believe we're at a point in this country, either it's time to tell the truth or just not discuss the issue. And I say this, I wanted to say I say this nicely, but I don't. If I could have come through the TV the other day when Joe Scarborough looked down at the panel and said, where do they even make Levi's? Because they came out when he said tariff and said, oh my God, they're going to put a tariff. The EU is going to strike back, and they're going to put a tariff on Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Well, we know that Harley-Davidson motorcycle sales are down. They've been down for a while. That's, supply. Hey, if you choose to go get the motorcycle, okay, that's what you get.
And didn't they close the Kansas plant some time ago?
The Kansas plant, it was already closed and consolidating back. This is before Trump made an announcement.
Right.
But they're going to put a tariff on Harley-Davidson. They're going to put a tariff on
whiskey,
bourbon, and I don't know why they picked these three, and Levi's jeans. And when they said Levi's jeans, I mean, whoa, where's the blood pressure medicine here? And then Joe Scarborough comes out on the show and looks down at the table at Minka. Now, Minka can't look back because she's fresh off another stretched out facelift, but Minka tries to look to the right. I had to do it. But anyhow, And he looks
Now
down
I'm
through
looking.
there and he says, where do they even make Levi's jeans? San Francisco? No, that's on the tag, Joe. They make them in Mexico. Because in 2002, where we're sitting today, there was 3,000 jobs here that went to Mexico because Levi's closed in 2002. And NAFTA helped us transfer those factories south of the border, Joe, which you don't remember. Now, what's happened? What's happened to all these mill towns? And I love where we're at. I love Ellijay, Georgia. I love Jasper. I love Blairsville. I love Blue Ridge. I love it here. But we've replaced these areas with great tourist areas. It's awesome. I love it. But let's get outside of that, and we're sitting in the prescription pills, meth, disasters that these mill towns close down. Is it true or not?
It is true.
You go to all these mill towns that were thriving, okay? I'm only 42, but I remember...
Compared to what?
The lie is working.
Yeah,
Don't
you
get in.
said yourself,
Don't get all in my
Tell the
business.
truth or don't say anything at all.
Wow. She just earned her stripes.
Okay, it's time to tell the truth.
You can be my wingman anytime.
I'm 43 and a half. Let's get to the big picture. But let me just say this. This is a sad state we're at. And you have a president of the United States. Tell me where I'm wrong. You stop. Now, I'm going to get done, and you're going to tell me if I'm right or wrong. It's up to you, okay? So pay attention. It's like Dr. Whaley explaining some kind of cancer treatment to me. It's time for you to pay attention. So here, you go. Let's go 75 years old. So you got the guy 75 years old. He grew up in a steel town. He actually worked there through his 20s. He worked there, and you know the small town was thriving, and the kids were doing well because people went to work in the mill. Okay, then the person's 70. Now you get down to the 50, and the 50 watch the dad or the mom. Okay, what the hell? They watch the dad or the mom lose the job, and the mill closed. So the guy in the 50, he worked there 20 years. He ran out of it. Now you got the kids in the 20s and the 30s. They're on meth. They're on pills. These mill towns. Am I right or wrong?
Textile towns as well.
Right, textile. It's all over this country.
Textile and mill.
Coal mills.
Yeah,
Didn't they
right.
just get...
Look at West Virginia. What happened? They just shut down mine after
That's coal,
mine.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Look at the prescription pills. I believe we have a president when they say tariffs, and it just shocks them. I believe we actually have a president that sees it from here to here.
He does.
Do you agree or disagree?
I totally agree with you. Everything you're saying. You got a thumbs up from me. How about the rest of the panel?
Thumbs up.
Okay.
I mean, I'm serious. I mean,
Unanimous.
I love Blue Ridge, but I remember the day in 2002. I lived here when Levi's closed. I remember
They had
it.
a cut and sew plant here, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
absolutely.
I had a friend who worked there.
Yeah, and
I mean, literally, schools closed down.
but right here where you're at, you have the generation. My mother-in-law worked there, or we had several cut and sew plants up here, not
Right.
just Levi's at that time.
Yeah, we did. There were
there were several cut and sew plants in this area at that time. My mother-in-law worked at one of them. Okay, so here my mother-in-law. Now we're down to the next generation. Now we're down to the grandkids and the great-great-grandkids, and they have what to look forward to: opiate addiction, prescription pills, meth. Right? I'm sorry. I mean, you know, they should be able to get it. We got to bring jobs, real jobs, back to the country, and I think Donald Trump's doing that. I don't know. I got off the rails a little bit.
That's okay.
Well, that's okay.
It's all.
I mean, I think Donald Trump is running this country like a business, which is what he said he was going to do, which we should have been doing from time immemorial.
That's the pragmatic approach I keep
Just-
talking
it-
about. I
it
keep
is a
beating that
business.
horse, but
It's
that's exactly what he's doing.
Supply and demand and make a profit. I mean, it's the same thing. And then it's the good old boys up until he got in, and those good old boys are terrified. They are running. I mean, it's just going to be a bloodbath.
He didn't run like previous administration where they say, I'm going to give everybody a free cell phone. Everybody's going to have free tuition. And oh, by the way, if you work at McDonald's, you get a minimum of $15. He didn't run on any of that stuff. He ran on all of these promises that he is one by one implementing.
You know, you've heard
putting into
me
place.
give my scenario of what took place, which is, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm a firm believer that this guy went around the country and he had the legal pad. I call it the legal pad.
I was just about to say that.
And I'm a firm believer that somebody was in charge of the legal pad and the pencils, And every time he came off stage or he met with some people, right? I believe that as soon as they got back to Trump Force One and he got a Big Mac and a Diet Coke or some Kentucky Fried Chicken in him, he said, write this down. And I believe that pad somewhere is in the Oval Office in a desk drawer, and he pulls it out and he says, let's keep this one today. I mean, maybe not that direct, but you understand what I'm saying? Because he is keeping his promises. Who was the guy yesterday from West Mifflin, was it Pennsylvania, that went to the White House for the tariff signing? You know what I mean?
Second generation,
Right?
third generation.
Okay. Steel mill, works for U.S. Steel, I think it is?
Aluminum.
Aluminum.
Yeah, are you talking about the union guy? Or
Yeah,
the,
yeah, the
okay,
union guy, right.
yeah, he was a union steel guy.
Right. Trump met him on the campaign trail. Now, something else. This is not being reported this morning. Fast and Furious, the gun running. Okay? Eric Holder. Sam, do you have my blood pressure medicine? Eric Holder and Barack Obama, who is the border agent that was killed.
I can't think of his name.
Yeah, but I can see his face. We know who he.
What's his name?
Yeah.
Border agent killed Brian Terry. No, that's not it.
Could be.
Border
Yeah, could
agent
be.
killed. Fast and Furious border agent killed. You'll get the name. Anyhow, his brother. Did you see last night?
I did not.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Seen his
The
parents.
Trump administration is going to release the documents on Brian Terry, right?
good.
Brian Terry. Border agent killed, Fast and Furious. We have the first Attorney General contempt, right? Eric Holder, right? Contempt of a subpoena.
For not releasing the Fast and Furious.
For not releasing.
As mandated by Daryl Issa.
Right.
Whoa.
There's your gold star. Ladies, you'll have to catch
That
up.
is 100%
okay?
on
So,
the test.
Daryl Issa mandated, right, that Eric Holder release the documents on Fast and Furious. right?
Contempt of Congress.
Contempt of Congress. First
Found
attorney,
guilty.
First Attorney General found guilty of contempt of Congress, Eric Holder, right? Great teamwork here. Stay with this. So Brian Terry, who does Trump meet on the campaign trail? Brian Terry's brother, right? Trump promises
Put this on the legal pad, by the way.
Brian, that's right. Brian Terry's Donald Trump in Michigan, promises Terry's brother, I will release those documents, right?
I didn't know that.
And yeah,
That's
look
good.
at okay. So, Trump's a busy guy, and Brian Terry's brother sends a message to the White House, or sends a tweet. He puts a tweet out and says, President Trump promised me this on the campaign trail. Tell me where I'm wrong. Okay?
No, you're good so
All
far.
right? Promised me this on the campaign trail. I put a tweet out. Donald Trump picked up the tweet, my words, and maybe said, I did promise that, and all I got to do is call over there and say, hey, let's do this. Trump's done it, right? He already got confirmation back that the Trump administration are going to release the documents on Fast and Furious. Am I wrong?
No, and you're absolutely correct. And contrary to published reports earlier during the Obama administration, there weren't that many pages of documents. And now it turns out there's probably 10 times the amount of documents that all of a sudden are going to be released. Where'd all these documents come from, and who was hiding them?
What I say on the show throughout the week, I said Trump went out and he met with the Johns and the Larrys and the Freds and the Julies, right? I said he didn't go. Here's what happens, folks. I'm just saying it just like this. I've been involved in politics for too long. These candidates come in, they get escorted in by a circle group. I've watched it. They get to a town, they get escorted in by a circle group that meets them. And that circle group, sorry, my Republican friends, are the establishment that circles around them. So the Amandas, Ricks, Jane, and BKP can't get close, okay? So they circle around them, they usher them in to the stadium. Let's see, who I remember. All right, best example, Mitt Romney, okay? And they rush them up to the stage, and they give them their meat-talking, red meat comments that they make, and then they rush them back, and they try to get onto the plane before Amanda can touch close to the candidate and say, hey, I would like for you to... there's only one candidate that took Jamal. And we all know Jamal now, right? Jamal's son was 1 block away, right? 1 block away. I'm just telling you, there's only one candidate. That Brian Terry, it's not on any of the news.
and all
Church.
that stuff resonated in the Rust Belt states.
Right.
That's
exactly.
where he did his damage to Hillary. But that's exactly how he went through those states, meeting with those types of folks, and they're all coming back. They're all coming back.
Hillary, she did the same thing, but she did it to fit Hillary's agenda. Donald Trump did it to fit the Americans' agenda.
That's a good point.
Good point.
She went into the slums and asked people about abortion and everything else to fit Hillary's agenda, when Donald did the same thing, but the exact opposite.
Okay, we're going to switch gears, and I want to start with you because you have children at home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we're gonna get that's her, right? She's a
the
good
one.
guy. That's a good guy right there.
No, are you
she is.
nuts?
Rachel's a great
Rachel
guy.
Madcow.
Yeah.
She is not.
She's a one hell of a guy. Oh, she's not.
Oh, that's your point. No.
No,
Whatever.
she's not a guy.
So let's get back
Really?
to serious.
She is
fine.
fake news. She could be a guy. She could be a guy. She's both. I know.
pretty
I will say this: I think she shaves. Anyhow.
Jeez.
Oh, he is right.
Come on, what?
Oh,
I
the
mean,
picture in my mind. Ah.
Yeah, right.
what did I do?
I have kids at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
America.
And they're
What did I do
watching, so
wrong? Okay,
Your whole
next segment.
family's probably watching today,
Yeah.
and you're going to embarrass her with the shaving.
I said the woman shaved. What the hell?
Subject, please.
Okay,
Thank you.
come on.
Lady Bick. Anyhow,
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
what did I do wrong?
Move on, Mr. Gillette.
Okay.
This is getting.
Amanda, stop.
Focus.
Don't get us off track, Jane. Amanda, you have kids at home. I personally feel that these are murder simulators, these video games.
Yes.
What are your rules? I'll put you on the spot. What are your rules? You got young men. You got a bunch of young men at the house.
Yes. I have 3
Even the
boys.
one you're married to.
Yeah.
Sorry, just a joke. Just a joke. Yeah, so no, anyhow.
That's true.
But tell us a little bit about how you look at it with your boys.
Okay, well, my oldest, he's 9, and we have gone into a big Xbox phase here lately. And with him, a lot of it starts with their friends, and they're at that age they're more into Minecraft. Well, there's a game called Roblox, and it's kind of a spin-off of Minecraft. And like you said, they're kind of like, imagine little Lego guys. But they are going around, and I noticed, because I didn't know this in the game, because you wouldn't think anything about the game because it's cartoon. Mm-hmm. Well, they're going in and shooting the other blocks, and there's like blood exploding from these blocks.
See there? That's
They are
unbelievable.
trained, and this game is rated E for everyone.
They're desensitized.
E for everyone.
Yes.
So what you're saying is your son's 9.
Yes.
So as a parent, let's get this right because this is a great segment. So as a parent, you're going in and you're I'm gonna say trusting. Hey, they say E for everyone, so I should feel good that I can put my 9-year-old in front of it.
Yes.
But what you're seeing is they're conditioning the 9-year-old with the blocks that explode with blood for the next level when they're 12 and the next level. Or is that what you think that they're stepping them up to want that?
And this has been going on since me and Sam were kids. My mom used to plot, not any fault of her own, because she's kind of she went through what I'm going through now with the cartoon issue. Remember Rocco's Modern Life or whatever it was called?
Rocco, yeah.
Rocco.
Hef.
Okay,
Hef lived next door. He was raised by a pack of wolves, by the way.
The cartoon. All right, what about Beavis and Butthead?
You want to just talk about
Okay.
it? We don't know.
My
even know what they're talking about.
My mom used to sit me and my brother in front of Beavis and Butthead.
My movie is Beavis and Butthead Do America.
Thinking that it was just a cartoon, like how you're not really listening to it, but you got the kids in front of cartoons and you're cooking and you're cleaning, you're just a busy American mom. Okay, well, look at the content on Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, honey.
And this is the same thing that parents our age are going through now with these kind of games, they're on the surface, they're, you know, cartoons and they're sweet and they're just running around doing their own little missions. But then you really pay attention and you notice that this cartoon has a gun and is blowing up all these little baby chickens and all this stuff. That's the game. Chickens. And and just the content of the game, if you really sit and pay attention, is trash.
It's desensitizing.
It's
Desensitizing. Okay.
That's the big word.
Huh?
Video games. It goes way deeper than video games. Here's the problem. The problem is that the generation that has kids now in high school, they wanted to be their friends.
Yes.
They didn't want to be their parents. It does nothing. Yes, video games are way more desensitized than they used to be. So are the TV shows, the movies.
They're way more what?
The
Desensitized.
on TV
oh
now
my
are even
gosh.
risque, where they weren't when we were kids. The problem is kids don't have parents. They have friends. That's the problem. It has nothing to do with what we put on TV. I mean, it does, but
I think you and I ought to get behind the control panel and let the ladies
I could
talk.
run the show over there. I can do the pointing and clicking. I mean, we could leave. No, I'm not going to get in the way of that.
Me either.
Okay, and what say you?
I got something to say about that.
All right.
I have grandchildren.
That's we want. There you go.
So I'm kind of in the music industry is just horrendous, and so we were at dinner, and I asked one grandson, well, what do you listen to? He said whatever he said. I said, oh really? I said, what's your song? Blah blah. I said, you know what it says? Well, I said, oh wait, I pulled up the lyrics. They were disgusting, and the parents were just kind of sitting there, and I said, Knox, do you know what that means? He said, no. I said, well, I'm not going to tell you. I'll let your dad tell you. And they just kind of, the parents are oblivious. And so what I did, and I never heard a word, I got pictures of the videos. They are coming out of graves, being a zombie, covered in mud. Their heads are cut off. And I said to my friends and my daughters, your children are watching this. And what can we do about it? I didn't get an answer. They don't want to tackle it. Well, they wouldn't be friends anymore. I mean, they don't want it. How are your kids handling it?
I got one story. It's very quick. I come in over the holidays. My grandson is got something in his hands, and he's got a computer screen in front of him. And he's jumping around like he's having a seizure, and I'm watching him, and I'm going, what is he doing? Well, what he's doing is all of his motions are transferring to fight moves, and he's trying to beat some guy up on the screen, and I'm going, and I tried it, I almost had a heart attack. I mean, I couldn't even do it. It was just, you got all these gyrations.
Yeah, I go back to the Sega Genesis. Body blow.
Yeah.
So,
it's unbelievable.
All right, well, wait a minute. All right, let me turn this the other way. So, there's something I want to double down with you. So, the video game you get for your boy, it's rated E. Okay? Right. Now, if it's rated M for mature, that's basically rated X.
Yeah, we don't get it.
You don't get it, but could if your son is 14 and they have enough money, will they sell it to them at the store?
I know at certain stores, like I've been with my son and his friend, where like I'm just gonna come out and say it, like Target, they will ID you if you have a mature game, because I know that one of my sons and his friend tried to buy a game because his friend had money. And I was like, your mom and dad aren't gonna like that. Well, they have older brothers and stuff, so it wasn't really a big issue in their household.
So the kids try to buy it. Some stores, the scanner says check ID.
The clerk said you can't buy this unless I bought it, and I wasn't gonna buy it for him. And
so there was nothing on the scanner.
Right.
Because like there's things like cigarettes or alcohol. If you scan it,
it'll come up.
But it will show
just
that?
Like how alcohol and cigarettes are.
Is it 17?
No.
Or 18?
It's 17.
For the
for rated
okay.
But again, they have access to that on YouTube. Kids sit and
they do.
And that I wanted to make
themselves shooting it, so even if they're not playing it, they can
watch.
I want to make a big point about that too.
Don't parents have a control on YouTube that they can?
You do
knows how to use it. Hello.
Yeah.
But how often do you know kids that can, first of all, jailbreak that? Second of all, kids have access to YouTube at school.
Right.
On their
and two, it's based on the user's content as well. And a lot of these YouTube influencers, and I'm going to name one, my sons watch Dan TDM.
What?
Dan TDM.
Dan TDM.
This
Yes.
is his username.
Yes,
Oh,
that's his
okay,
username
okay.
on YouTube. And he puts on tutorials on YouTube of these games. And one of his biggest ones, he started out with Minecraft. But now he's a game tester, I guess. And it's the same thing. These explosive, bloody games that are rated E for everyone. And
E is
and I
horrible.
tried to the other day, because me and my son actually got into a discussion where he was trying to explain to me that there was nothing wrong with Dan TDM, that he's just showing games from a 9-year-old's perspective. And I was telling him, just Dan's behavior alone, he acts like a child. This grown man, a grown 27-year-old man, because I did a lot of research on him, acts like a child. Not like you, like a creepy.
No. I was waiting. I was waiting.
She saw that little twinkle in your eye.
Wait a
She saw that
minute.
little
Wait a minute.
twinkle.
You know you were thinking of it, and you know you were thinking of it. You know they. Now get back to it. Thank you. I understood that.
He's just a normal man. He acts, like a man. Okay, so but this
Getting
we're talking
deeper.
about, and I'm not trying to call anybody out or anything, but we're talking about.
And he's probably shooting this from his mom and dad's basement.
Yes, and we're talking about predatorial behavior that I think of. I'm thinking as a mom of 3 boys, this man
He
that my
is.
children are spending time with at least an hour a day acts like a predator. I do not like him. Like, I don't, and I tried to explain that to him. And from a 9-year-old boy, and he's an independent boy. He is just like
I can
really
imagine.
smart. He's an aim. Like he's really, really smart. And I'm not trying to throw up on him, but he does not understand that when these influencers out here are so nice and they're they put on a good show on their YouTube and everything, he doesn't understand the psychological aspect that this man is a creep.
But do you let him watch it?
End of story, right?
Do you let him watch it, though, or
He
have
thinks
you
a
banned
perky
it?
smiley face is just a nice person because he's a child and he does not understand.
So how do you control the
How do you-
situation?
do
You try to
you let him
reason or
watch
do you
it?
mandate?
YouTube is out of their room now. Like no more YouTube.
This weekend, grandsons were there. I come up. They were already up. The television was on, and I looked, and as soon as they saw me, clunk, they turned it off. So it was on YouTube. That's a big sign.
Yeah, that is a big
And they
sign.
know how I feel about it.
Here comes the warden.
And so on my YouTube, I like to watch a lot of documentaries.
Hide that
about
paid
how-
cell phone down here.
Yeah.
Grandma coming.
But here's the thing again, it goes back to
Quick, hide the bird phone.
So
Go ahead, Grandma.
I'm listening.
Can anyone
Ray.
see me?
I'm listening.
Okay, so he turns it off, and I knew that he was watching something that I wouldn't approve of, and probably his parents. So I said, "Oh, Knox, what are you watching?" "Oh, nothing." And he starts turning it on to the Food Channel, right? I said,
The Food
"Yeah,
Channel.
right."
He's watching Chopped.
Yeah, a 10-year-old with the Food Channel. So I said, "Well, Knox," I said, "now, when I turn on my YouTube, all my that your subject matter comes up." I said, "Now, all of the things you watched are going to come up because you're in my YouTube." And he lost all the blood in his face. He couldn't even talk. He was mortified.
Humada.
Right.
No, it's like when they come in the morning, they go to our YouTube channel, they can see the songs I've been playing and everything.
Sure.
Because I go through and they can see all the little clips I do from Seinfeld and stuff. Yeah. Right?
real question though, seriously, because of the way that society has changed and what is acceptable now. Forget the video games. Because that is a parental control. They can either buy the video games or not. But you
go
cannot
to
stop someone from turning on the TV and seeing risque commercials or
No,
if
can't.
it is in your face,
horrible.
no matter where you're at, you have a computer, a phone, a TV in your face all the time, and it is accepted to have this either violent or risque sexual stuff on the TV. How do we get back to a society where even if the parents now start to implement rules, but you have this entire generation that has made it okay to see all this? How do you get back to that?
My son is, I will say that to back her on that, he is at the point where I was at his age that I could not, I was like, I'd watch Jaws and be like, oh my God, like traumatized.
Exactly.
He
Kids today
He
doesn't pay.
thinks nothing about it.
Takes,
Okay, wait.
that's the whole-
Let's
And
go
that
with
is
that.
not due to
Whoa,
me,
let's go
that
with that
is
because
due
that's where I
to
wanted to be.
society.
That's where I wanted to be right now.
I was traumatized.
We've
with Jaws.
desensitized. We have look, Sheriff Brody or whatever his name was. We desensitized the kids. Okay, we desensitized the kids to the point of what happened in Parkland simulates a video game. I know as ugly as that wants to sound.
That's
okay?
exactly right.
And,
Exactly right.
and it simulates. And I read something yesterday that said we don't have the human nature to want to kill. And I will say this to the camera, not joking, a straight face. You know, I pray that I leave this world and I am never in a situation where I have to know that I killed somebody. I don't want that.
Right.
But having a gun, having my Second Amendment, having a carry permit does not mean that I have become desensitized to the fact I want to kill somebody.
Right.
When these kids go in the military, they have to be taught to kill. Am I right?
Right.
They have to. These kids go in the military, 18 years old. They don't go in there wanting to kill people.
Right.
So the military puts a lot of time into these kill simulators, flight sim, right? That's basically what the kids are sitting in front of. And they're
But
sitting
you know,
in front of
when you're introduced to it,
Not only in video games. That's what I'm saying. Movies, TV shows.
listen, but it's starting when
not
they're
one-dimensional.
5. It's starting
saying
when they're
it's
5.
Right. But
yeah.
when they're sitting in front doing this, they're simulating the kill. I just
But it
think
used
here's
to
the
be-
thing: Florida went to 21 years old, 3-day background checks, and I'm just thinking to myself, and we talking about mental health after Parkland. All I keep saying is, okay, who's going to go to 21 mandatory to buy these murder simulators? Okay, to practice the killing. Okay, why don't we do that? And also, why don't we have 3-day background checks for the mental health and stability of these people that are buying these murder simulators? And people might think, well, wait a minute, you're just really being silly. No, these kids, even the guy in Parkland, I understand if you read, he played video games, okay, right?
Yep.
Why do we even?
I mean,
need
I'm
these
not
in the
saying,
first place?
I'm
Well-
not knocking down on video games, but at the same time.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I'm knocking down on. Listen.
Why do we need
when Rick-
games where you're killing people? Like, not only just.
I think we need to
shooting
go
people,
back to Pac-Man.
But see, yeah.
But
No, I'm serious.
I
Like,
want
why
to
do we-
say something.
Jane.
Even
When
think
we-
about
Jane's
a right.
flagged in. Foul.
No, go ahead.
No, Jane.
No, go ahead.
Rick, when we were young,
Yes.
when we were young, we're the same age, just a few days apart.
Yes.
When our friends went to the military,
Don't do that to a woman.
went to the military, they hadn't been playing games killing each other since they're 5 years old. They go to the military, they have a different mindset. If we have to go protect our country, then we're going to do it. Now the kids are killing people, and it's not all Army games. It's killing your neighbor, it's killing whomever you don't like when they're 5 years old. So the whole paradigm is just awful. Shifted. And what you can do about it, I think it's... And how would you say, kids, you can't watch this? Mom.
My friends are doing it.
Yeah, and then they'll go to their house and play the heck out of the game.
Yeah. They're going to go to their
Okay, folks, we're going to end this. I've got to talk about something else, but I want to say something because God knows we can't get through the week. We can't get to the end of the show. We can't get to Friday that I don't just say something that upsets everybody. So I'm
There
going to go
it
with
comes.
that right now, okay? No, I'm going to, no. Okay, we got to get to the, all right, Amanda, you found out this morning you were going to sit in for Bruce, so I didn't tell you to prepare. Amanda's been doing a segment at 9:30 on our split screen. It's going great. I want to tell you, really enjoying that every morning at 9:30. Amanda's doing a segment on our show Monday through Thursday. Joining us here. Do you have a final topic you want to discuss before we get to our pet of the week?
I don't, but I do want to retouch on the where Trump was actually trying to move to ban these games. Why? And people say that, you know, whenever they were speaking of that it's infringing upon their rights. Why do you feel like you need to pass time shooting people on a game and killing people?
Right.
Anything. Why do you feel that? Is it necessary? Let's just go back to the good old days. Pac-Man.
Well, Pac-Man. Well, I will
Tetris,
say.
remember
I
Tetris?
will say this. Hey, I'm going back Atari. Ping.
Atari.
Ping
Pong.
Ping.
That's called
Oh,
Pong. I
Pong.
just said that. Yeah.
I love
So-
Pong.
Hike in the woods, ride a bicycle.
I'll never
Yeah.
forget that Christmas. My
And
brother and I got the
That in
Atari.
itself
Go out and play baseball.
needs a psychological evaluation.
Yeah.
If you feel like you need to pass time just blowing people
Get
up,
your kid a baseball glove.
Yes.
Folks, you want to go back? Sam, you said that, and I understand it's not that simple, but you want to get started, getting back, get your kid a baseball glove, okay? And a basketball, there's 3. You need a kid needs to get a football for Christmas, needs to get a baseball for Christmas, he needs to get a baseball glove, baseball bat, and a basketball. You know I left one out. I won't say it. Anyhow, that's what happened to America. There is a ball you don't need. I never could stop. I
Is
never
it
could
black
stop.
and white?
Anyway,
Quiet. Anyhow, but thank you for that because I agree with you. Why do we have to have kids sitting and simulate? Thank you, Donald Trump, for actually bringing that discussion out. You, Rick?
Let's see. A couple quick things. Something happened this week that really jumped out at me. And thank you, Rand Paul, for sponsoring a bill to audit the Fed. I still think that that is really necessary, and I will cherish the day when that happens, if it happens.
He'll be dead first.
Well, that could be. The last, and lastly, someone
They've
sent.
killed a lot of people who want to audit the Fed.
Yeah.
Kennedy was one.
True.
Someone sent me a text, and they always end it with something, and I'll just read it because it's really succinct. It has to do with term limits. Politicians in diapers must be changed often, and for the same reason. Mark Twain.
Oh, nice.
That's good. Yeah.
Jane,
Nice.
what say you?
Well, I heard something interesting that Trump, and I don't know if anyone else has heard this, he's mentioned bringing us back to the gold standard. Has
Yes.
anyone heard that? And that he was just going to redo the Fed. We don't need the Fed. Everyone knows the story. The Monster at Jekyll Island. If you haven't read it, read it.
Read it.
And
Read it.
so I'm looking forward. I mean, things are going to turn upside
tough
down,
read.
and I'm excited about it. This is a really bumpy time, but there's going to be a time when these people over here, MSNBC, I've got to think of what that means in my own words. I'll think of something.
New
really
acronym
good.
for MSNBC. That's our
Oh.
challenge for the week.
Gotta hear
Yeah.
about that.
Friday.
Yeah.
Friday name.
But they're going to have no choice but to say this country is great. When that happens, we're having a party. They're-
My sister.
I
now
thought
buys
this
cigarettes.
morning, Jane, I'm with you
MSNBC.
every day. I think it's the day today, and I'm not naive, that they will have to come out, CNN and
And just
MSNBC,
admit.
and give him 1 ounce of credit, and that is a no. This morning they opened with that he wanted Stormy off the front page and his conflict with Hope Hicks, so he threw this meeting out to get off the front pages with that. That's how they opened. So anyhow, folks, listen. Now let me get to my upsetting point of the week. Okay, and this is going to upset. It's going to upset Sam, and it usually doesn't go well when I upset
Do we have
Sam.
to? Do we have to have? Do we have to
You're not woman
have
bashing,
unity
are
on the
you?
set here with you?
Yeah.
All right, you're
You're
gonna
not woman
upset.
bashing like you did yesterday.
But no, there ain't no pause. I got no pause button. You see a pause over here? You see my button?
Remember how often you have to put up with me.
Okay. Anyhow, I'm going to attempt not
Good
to upset
point.
her too bad. But Sam is the one that was shouting from afar the TV, the cartoons, the commercials, all of it, folks. You don't have to. Is it Seattle? You don't have to identify your gender when you go to kindergarten. Is it Washington State? Is it Washington State? You go to kindergarten, you don't have to identify.
You can decide after you get
yeah,
there.
okay. Hollywood, TV, cartoons have set us up for everything. I love SpongeBob. I'll never forget when he went to go get his driver's license. But check out the gender of a sponge and the gender of a starfish, right? Well, they got both? Do they?
A sponge?
Check out your sponge and your starfish
A
and
worm
what
has
they
both,
did.
I think.
What they did. Why do you think Patrick, okay, on SpongeBob? Yeah, I know you're mad at me. Check it out. That has been your gender issue for this last generation. Okay, your sponge, not Krabby Patties. Okay, your sponge and your starfish. Check it out. See if I'm not right on that one.
Yeah.
Take us to break.
Do they identify as
That goes
fish?
back to parents wanting to be friends and not be parents.
Got it.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas, just $5.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $5.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes! Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas, just $5.99 each. No one out pizzas the hot.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
Had the time of my life. I never felt like this before. I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you. I'll tell you something. This could be love, because I've had the time of my life. I've never felt like this before, 'cause I've had the time of my life.
Folks, you know what time it is. Do you know what time it is? Does anybody know what time it is? It's time. No, Huda Pup Pup. Just a minute. Anyhow, Heidi, this is Heidi. This is the time, our pet of the week from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. And I'm here with my friend Karen from the Humane Society. How are you today, Karen?
I'm good. Thank you, Brian. How are you?
And tell us a little bit about this beautiful. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Look over here. Look over here.
There you go.
There you go.
Throw a
Say
treat
over
up
here.
to her. Here, baby. Here you
Put
go,
your.
sweetie.
All right. Look.
Okay.
Wave your paws in the air. Wave them like you just don't care.
Heidi is about a little over 4 months old. We think she's maybe Italian Greyhound mix. We're just not sure. She was picked up off the road by one of our Good Samaritan couple that had adopted. I don't know if you remember a dog named Dixie.
Yes.
Well, Dixie was at the kennel, and these people had adopted her, and they were walking the neighborhood, and they saw that she was dropped off out of a car, unfortunately. But good news is they saw it happen, and they picked her up and brought her to us, and we've had her since probably, it's about 4, maybe 5 weeks now. And
Heidi, how are you?
she's a sweetie. She loves to play. She's very, very sweet.
Let me check your chops. You go with your chops. You always have to check.
She's got the baby teeth going on. Here, Heidi.
Close your
Here.
eyes. Close your eyes.
Here's
Close
your
your
bone.
eyes. Close your eyes.
You want your bone? Instead of chewing on Brian, take your bone. Yeah. You want that bone? Yeah.
Let me check your
Say,
chops.
Brian,
Let me
hold
check
my
your
bone.
chops. Let me check your chops. I gotta see. I have to see. I've never had a pup I didn't check their chops. Oh, look at them choppers.
Yep.
Let me see if they're.
They work.
I always get in trouble for that, but my puppies always love that.
She's very sweet. She loves to play with other dogs. Remember Yogi
Close your
from
eyes.
2 weeks ago? Yogi and
Let's play
Cindy.
peekaboo.
Well, Yogi is. Cindy's been adopted
Are you
or
telling me
fostered to
something?
adopt. I am.
Tell it to them. You know I'm not listening.
Cindy's been fostered to adopt, as you saw 2 weeks ago, and Yogi is back at the kennel, ready to be adopted. Well, fostered to adopt. He's still a puppy. But anyway, we put them together yesterday, and they play really well together, Yogi and Heidi.
Heidi.
So Heidi's got a newfound friend named Yogi.
Who's the pup? Tell Yogi I said, who's the pup?
I will tell him. I will tell him. You said
Who's
hi.
the pup? Who's the pup? If we were at my house, we would play like this. Here's
I
what
hope
I do.
she
I'd say,
doesn't pee
I'd
on
say,
you.
throw your paws in the air. Throw them up like you just don't care. Right? Who's the puppy?
Don't pee on him.
That's okay.
Oh,
okay.
please.
And
do.
she is because
No whizzing. It's a no whiz zone.
Because of her age, she's not ready to be adopted.
What?
She still needs the rest of her vaccinations, and she has not been spayed. So it'll be a couple of months before she's ready to be adopted. However, she can be fostered
You know
to
who
adopt.
she looks like with those ears?
Who does she look like, Brian?
You look like the Flying Nun.
I thought that.
They have no idea. Did you think that?
I thought that. I
They
said
have no idea. The kids have no idea what I just said. You understood,
I
right?
do. I do. I'm right there
It was a
with
good
you.
thing.
Yes, us baby boomers know who the Flying Nun is.
Yes.
I said that to one of our volunteers yesterday. I said, she's kind of got ears like the Flying Nun.
Oh, the pup.
Oh, you get
You
lots
must
of
have
kisses.
been a beautiful
Lots of
baby.
kisses.
Quit kissing me. Quit this. Stop the smooch. Who's the smooch? All right, you can't call me. All right, the show has to end. Oh, don't close your ears, Flying Nun. The show must end. It's time to go. Though we love you, little puppy.
Do you want to know where you can come and see her?
Yes, turn her that way. Is that way you want me to turn her? I love this puppy. She's a good puppy. Heidi, we're going to tell you now where you can come visit Heidi and all of the dogs and cats at the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. Can you?
I can. We're at 171 Mineral Springs Road in Blue Ridge, and our phone number is 706-632-4357. And you can like us on Facebook or find us on our website at www.humanesocietyofblueridge.org.
I hope you were paying attention because I was not. This is a great puppy. And I'll tell you what, I'm a puppy tester. Don't you think so?
I think so.
Yes,
I
I'm a
think
puppy
that-
tester.
I think
If you could do this with a puppy, this is a take-home puppy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fostered, and then you can take her home.
Absolutely. This is a take-home puppy for sure. Heidi is waiting for you to come to adopt. Now, don't forget, you got to do a meet and greet so you can check to see if the dog is right for the entire family. If you have another dog, you have to bring that dog, so you schedule a meet and greet with the Humane Society of BlueRidge.org. And come out and see Heidi today and all of her friends.
And
Stay away from
Yogi and all
cat
the
side.
other ones that are there.
You understand?
And we have
Look
cats
me in
too.
the eye. Look
Lots
me in
of
the eye.
cats.
Stay away from the cat side.
I'm a cat lady, so.
I just wanted to stay away from the cat side. No bad influences, okay?
She's a sweet.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm your host, BKP. Don't forget, Humane Society of BlueRidge.org. You can find Heidi, Yogi, and they have all their cats listed also. You come out and visit them and check everyone out and share this. It'll be on our YouTube channel, FYN TV, Fetch Your News, YouTube. Get your choppers off me. It'll be on our YouTube channel, and you can share it with your friends. All right, take us out of here. We done? We're done.